Nikos Rentas here, mentorsapproach.com. Today's email is all about being in that phase of life where you want to go do what you want to do, but you're stuck being in that place where you need to be. Cash flow, life situations, you name it. And this is a great example. I think the person's in their mid-20s, maybe getting up to that 30 age mark. I'm not sure, but I'm going to answer the question around that area. But it does apply to people in other phases of their lives, or age-wise, right? And it's a great email to just look at it from a perspective of an industry that's really hard to be in and succeed at without putting in a lot of time and effort into it, unless you've struck out great and are in that echelon of people that are working for some great firms. So here we go. Hi Nikos, I recently got fired from my job due to instabilities at my firm. That sucks. It's just like a sudden thing that could happen to anybody. I think everybody's been there. So we know what you're going through. I'm a website designer, but a graphics designer by trade. Hard, challenging place to be in. Like when people get through the years of graphic design and web development, some people hit it hard and hit it right on the peg, and they go running and they make a lot of money. They're in great opportunities. They find those opportunities, whether they run into them or they know people. But other people struggle for a very long time, and it's hard. And if you're not business savvy to start your own thing, it's very hard to jump around and find that niche, right? And being graphic design, I'm dealing with several people that are in that spectrum trying to find better jobs, and the reality is that starting out is hard. Being in the middle is kind of harder, but once you get through that experience, you can skyrocket to great positions. So here we go, just to continue here. I want to go back into just graphic design, but every time I apply for a position, it is situated around web design. Cash flow is a problem, but I also want to not fall into another trap of being stuck in something I hate doing. My family tells me to go where the money is, but I hate it and have been trying to delay it all. Really? What can I do to increase my chances of changing my focus? Oh, when you say graphic design, there's many aspects. I wish you were more specific. So the general idea is what you need to do is address the cash flow issue. You need to address it. No matter what, you can't put it off. Your family's right. If you're sitting there trying to figure that out, you need to address that. And the best opportunity for success here is to actually go get something in that web design field, but get something that gives you more time and space to go and find something in graphic design. So what I'm saying by that is, if your graphic design is more specific and tailored to a firm that deals with products and placement and designs of how the product looks, or how how they're gonna deliver that product to the consumers, the packaging, you name it, you need to start looking for firms in that spectrum. The problem is that if you're really focused on that, it might take you a while to find that certain place that's gonna take you on and pay you the money that you want to make. And you might have to give up on some of that, because if you were stuck on web design, it might be that your experience isn't there in that graphic design area that you're trying to get into, so you might have to take a pay cut. And you need to be ready for that. You need to understand to be ready for that. There's a couple things you can do. Go back, get a web design job that's going to give you the cash flow to push you through, and at the same time start building your skill sets in that area. So start working and providing examples of how you would do things, so that you can have a portfolio of things that you can help. Go work on startups and work with startups and do example design, so you have a portfolio. So when you do meet that graphic design firm that needs your talents, you're ready and prepared to say, this is what I do, this is my value, how do I get in with you guys so we can have a great working relationship. Your web development your web design development is where you need to focus on a job right now. There are many different types of areas. Like, I employ web design guys across different types of industries, and I go to certain people that I know are specific, like content management, how they're going to develop the content, the design work, the graphics that go behind it, depending what's needed. And then you have the technology side where, how to make certain things more specific with a complete design that's user friendly. Everybody's got their niche and their how good they are. And when you're in a niche and like that, switching and going to graphic design, well, that's your true talent. That's what you love to do. Prove it so that you don't lose too much money, and at the same time, you are doing what you want to do. But cash flow is critical because you need to eat. You need to do something that's going to sustain yourself. Planning is critical here. You need to sit down and strategize, what am I going to do? So, do I go get a full-time or part-time job in web development? At the same time, let's start a blog of showing how I do certain things with graphic design. It's a killer. Like, I look at that stuff when I'm going to hire somebody, and I know all the people that I work with look at that. So if you have a YouTube channel showing how to do certain things in Photoshop and Illustrator, or if you have an example of, hey, this is a product and this is how we're going to do it, it's deliverable of start to finish, so that people at home who have their own companies want to know how to make, like t-shirts with tags and the logos, and how to do the print design and the canvases, and you have a work through of that. Well, somebody's going to see that and they're going to say, hey, this guy knows what he's talking about. You're going to be able to present yourself in a light of an expert. And even though you don't have that experience, now all of a sudden, hey, there is some experience. Some firms are really, really like tough on, hey, do you have this experience working within a firm at, this scale and this pace and blah, 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 blah. And other ones are looking for that creative touch that, hey, this guy worked in web development. He's got all this stuff, this experience in this area. Let's give him a chance. And then you go in there and you shine. The time it takes to do all this is a 3 to 6 month to a year process. But if you go get a job in web design, so you have cash flow, start developing this stuff, and at the same time go network, you're off to the races. And this works in any industry, really. If I was a cook, if I was a chef, I want to open a restaurant, if I'm an accountant and I want to get to the next level, if I'm an engineer, an architect, you name it, it works, because you're creating that online presence that shows to people, hey, I'm teaching this stuff, so clearly I know it. And if I know it that well, I can help you. This is the process. It's the evolutionary timeline. And when you go out to network, you come into your path of people that are willing to negotiate for your skill sets. And it could be that you even start from that to do contract work. I mean, like I've had posted a lot of stuff on different things over the years, and people will reach out to me, and project management was one of them. I posted a series of how-tos with communication, and people contacted me from across the world saying, we have this issue with communication and we liked what you said there, coach us, consult with us. Okay, and then, would you like to come on board for more of a full-time thing? Well, I love what I do and I'm doing what I'm doing, but I love to continue consulting and coaching. So you need to look at it from that aspect. And on the other end, you need to make a list, and you got to list out everything you want and need out of a position. Everything. And I mean everything. So that when you go in to negotiate, I want to have this salary. I want to have this much of benefits. I want to have vacation time. I want to have flexibility to work from home or not, whatever the case is. Are you willing to move to another city for it? I've known people that got up, left New York and went all the way to California. I've known people that lived here in Toronto, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, I got an offer with a startup down in California. Should I take it or not? It doesn't pay that well, but they love the sun, and I love the sun. I love California, and I also love the environment of New York. When I go down there, that's awesome. So the question always comes back to, what are your wants and needs? How are you going to attain those? We'll make a list so that when somebody approaches you with a graphic design and they say, listen, you're only going to make 30 or 40 or 50 grand, and I know you were making 70 or 80 as a web designer, are you willing to take the pay cut, but you're going to be living in California and you love all that, and the firm is big and known, and you're going to work on the projects you love, you'll be able to make that choice like this. You won't have this craziness go through your head of, should I do it or shouldn't I do it? Should I do it or shouldn't I do it? And then the decision is easier. So take the time, make the list, start. You need to address the cash flow issue. Do not avoid going into debt, because then the move will be harder when you find that job you want. And make that plan. Focus on it, and keep smiling, because that's all you can do. Keep smiling, and know that in the next year to 2 years to 5 years, you'll be where you want if you plan accordingly and strategize. If you need more specifics of your current situation, please visit online, mentorsapproach.com, and book a session with me, and we can definitely set up something that's going to help. If you find this message of value, please share and connect, and please follow. The YouTube videos are being made so we can help anybody that is in a similar situation as you, and it can help. So Nikos Rentas, mentorsapproach.com. Thank you.